Hi. So, as I said before, I would like to make the DJ tutorial. But before we go to this, there is something we have to talk about, and that's mixing in key. I found out when I was visiting the small clubs and I listened to the DJ mixes there that they have no idea what is the key. I guess they don't even know about the scales, about the chords, about the notes on the piano, and nothing about that. I guess that's because they are not making music, so they just don't care. But that's quite important in the DJing world. Every song has a key, the musical key. It tells us which seven notes were used to make the track. And the groups of seven notes which are fitting each other nice are called scales. For example, I like to compare the music scales and the notes to the cooking. Yes, like you have the basil, and you can know that basil tastes right in the spaghetti bolognese. You can know that from this you can make a pesto. You can put some pesto to the spaghetti bolognese, and still it's going to taste well. So if it's about the music, the scales, and the keys, it's working the same way. If you know the keys, you know the songs, and you know which song has which key, you can mix them very nice and they always gonna sound great. I will explain you what is musical key and how does it work by showing you my Ableton project of one of my songs I've made in 2015. It's called By the Sea, and when you see it inside you will understand in practice which notes I've been used in this song and how to know in what key is that song. So let's move on to the project. Okay, so we're in the Ableton project of the By the Sea, the tune I've made few years ago. So let's find out the scale in which was written this track, so we can find the key, what is the key of the track. So let's listen to it. Let's skip to the another part. To the another part. Sorry for my CPU, but my PC is running OBS and Ableton and there are some cracks. So, okay, how we can find the scale? Mm, the first thing is the bass line on the intro. Mm, Everyone writing a song use the root note of the scale, like the home for the entire notes, as a bass line on the intro. So we can get to know the root note, like the first letter of the scale. So let's look for the sub bass. Okay, so we can see is the D. D note is the home for our track. Let's put it on that piano roll here. We have D. Now let's look. Like we know already, the track will be in the key of D, but we have to find is the happy or the sad mood. And there are like minor chords, minor scales which are more sad, and major, which are more happy. So to find out, we need to find out the other notes playing in that track. Let's focus on the chords maybe. Let's look what notes are playing there. So it's the D, as I said, it's like the mother of the scale. In this case, it's the D. And then we have F sharp, A, E, and F sharp again. So it was D, F sharp, A, E. D, F sharp, A, D, F sharp, A. What was there more? I forgot. I have to look again. D, F sharp, A, E, A, E. Okay, so A is E. Okay, so that's what we have for now. D, E, F sharp, A. Let's look somewhere else if there are other notes playing. Let's look in the bell arp. Oh, and we have something here. It's B and C sharp. Let's add this to our scale detector. B and C sharp. Okay, so now let's look at the strings, what is playing there. Okay, as you can see, in the entire string section there are only the notes which I already put on the piano roll. Every note is exactly the same as there, so it's good. Let's look now at the guitar. Okay, if we look at the notes used in the guitar section, it's exactly as it was before. A, B, C sharp, D, E, G sharp. It fits perfectly. So what we know already is that those notes were used in this track. So it's going to be D, and we need to find out is it D major or D minor. Okay, so I have two scales, D major and D minor. D major is made of D, E, Fis, G, A, B, Cis, D, while D minor is made of D, E, F, G, A, Ace, C, D. I can find that this scale D major looks similar to our chord we've made, like power chord. Let's copy it and see if it fits right. Exactly, it fits perfectly. Yes, and G is missing. There was G as well, so it fits perfectly to the scale. It's D. It was, yeah, D major. D major is the scale used in this tune, so the key for this tune is D major. As we know, it's D major. In the DJ world, we don't use that much the terms like D major, A minor, C minor. Instead of this, we use the camelot notation. As you might see, for every scale, there is like equivalent in the number with the letter. And that's what you see in the in the record box or the DJ players, CDJs, they show you the key in the number and the letter. For example, D major, where is it? Yes, it's 10B. So if we load this track I've made in the CD player in the club, it should show us 10B because that's the scale of the tune. How we use that? The way we use it for mixing in key is like we move from 10B or right 1 point right to 11B, or 1 point left to 9B, or we go 1 point down to the right side, like to the bottom. In this case is 10A. So this track should go nice with A major scale, B minor scale, or G major scale. Yes, so that's the mixing in key, and I found out that it works well like up to 3 numbers higher. So 10B should goes good with 11B, 12B, 1B, or 9B, 8B, 7B, or 10A. So we can verify that by opening the record box and trying to mix this track with another track which shares similar number. Okay, so let's try. Okay, so we have our record box, we have the track by the C loaded on the deck A, and that's where the things get tricky. A lot of time the CDJs or the DJs like softwares recognize the key wrong. Yeah, it can happen. Like in this case, we already checked and it's 10A, but it shows us 11A. So not always trust the software. So I found other track, Remix to Diamonds by Rihanna, and I know this track is in 10A. So even though the number is different, it's not big difference. Even it shows as 11A, it's still compatible. Like in real we know it's 10A, but shows as 11A. Let's say that we believe it, and still there is one number difference, 11A, 10A. So it should go as well. So let's test it out. Yeah, it goes so good. So the transition was so smooth. It's just because both tracks are in key and they are like sharing the same story. Like it was so perfect. So that's why it's important to mix in key, to have some kind of musical background, like learning something about that. So we opened the project, we found out the key for the song, we found other song with the same key, and we blended them so good, like smoothly. So yeah, that's the mixing in key.